talk about circle dancing. So, does this one work? That, does it? Okay, good. Introductions. How about 30 seconds or less to introduce yourselves? I'm going to start on my right.
My name is Emma Hoser. I work for AM Only in New York. We're a booking agency. We do DJs and bands all over the world.
Matt?
Hi, I'm Matt Edwards. I'm a music producer, DJ, label owner, and I've been involved in the industry for about 15 to 20 years.
Amy?
My name's Amy Thompson. I'm head of electronic at X-Ray Touring.
No. There.
Does it work now? Yes. Thank you very much. Always happens to me. I'm Amy Thompson. I'm head of electronic at X-Ray Touring. We represent DJs, bands, rock bands, whatever, and we also do events, merchandising, internet promotion, and some record management.
Peter?
My name is Peter Kopke. I'm a consultant to all sorts of people. I help Bertelsmann sell their record business. I advised a company called Cerberus who was trying to buy EMI. I helped Fantasy to sell themselves to Concord Records. Before that, I was a partner with Pete Tong in London Records. I ran London Records in America and was one of the owners.
My name's Stephen Campno. I'm a music lawyer at Sheridan's in London.
Hi, I'm Richard Marshall from Galt Marketing in London, and we're a music marketing agency, and clients include Above and Beyond, who did the remix of the anthem today, Defected, Natalie Imbruglia, we've been working with all this year, Guilty Pleasures, the UK club brand, and BlackBerry, the handset manufacturers.
Okay, I'm Kourosh Nasseri. I'm based in the world's entertainment capital, Washington, D.C., and I've been involved with our kind of music for the past 17 years, and I'm still here and enjoying it, and that's what matters. My day job is that I'm a music lawyer, much like Stephen Kempner, and my role today is to stay out of the way until the panel can use some help, in which case I might go for a sliding tackle or things like that. So let's talk about what it is that we're talking about, and props to Global Communication. What is a 360 deal, Stephen?
A 360 deal is essentially a deal where a label acquires all of the rights that the artist has and not just their recording rights, so to include music publishing, live, merchandise, sponsorship, anything you can think of, basically.
Do we have any managers in the audience? Show of hands. 1, 2, okay. And Amy, you said that your company is also involved in management, is that right?
Yes, I manage Steve Angelo, and along with Stefan, who is on his laptop and not listening to me, with Sebastian Ingrosso too.
Right, so the only reason I ask is I wish we had a manager on our panel, because the funny part is that managers have always been on a 360 basis with their clients, so it would have been helpful to get feedback from that. But Stephen, would you say that the new aspect of the 360 is that the label is stepping into that position?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, as a new artist now, certainly with the bigger labels, unless you've got an awful lot of negotiating power, you will always have to give rights or share of income beyond record rights.
So, in your experience, and I've asked a couple of colleagues for numbers, but out of 10 deals that come across your desk, how many are non-360 deals in their first rendition?
1.
So 1 out of 10 will not be a 360, 9 out of 10 will be a 360?
Yeah, I mean, most labels will at least try to get those rights, even if you turn around and say no, and then they take them out.
Would you say that it's sort of started to go in a very serious way with the Robbie Williams deal?
Yeah, I mean, well, my firm did the Robbie Williams deal, and I think a lot of people got quite excited about it after that. I mean, well, Robbie certainly got quite excited because he got
excited about the money, but is anybody else getting that kind of money?
Well, I mean, I just did a deal for Deadmau5. He didn't get Robbie Williams type of money, but he did get a lot of money. but more often than not, record labels are looking to pay the same sort of money that they were for just straight record rights, but now they want all of these other rights or shares of income as well.
Matt, you run a label,
Yeah.
obviously. Are your deals 360 deals?
I mean, it all depends on the artists we're working with, and obviously how far they've reached in their career. So, but it all depends. I mean, I've been on both sides of it. I've also signed to a 360 deal, which
Oh, you have?
which actually didn't work out very well.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. How many artists do we have in the audience? Oh, wow. Okay. This should be interesting for you. Emma, amongst your clients, what percentage would you say is operating under a 360 deal?
None.
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 Okay.
I'm not speaking for my whole company. I'm speaking for the ones I represent.
Okay. And across AM Only's roster, what would your guess be? Don't know?
A small amount, but I don't know. I mean, we
Right.
have like 178 artists or something now.
Okay. Amy, what about on your end?
Across X-Ray, I would say that 60% of new bands signing are signing a 360 of some kind. Of my DJs, very few.
Right. Are those DJs, are the DJs that are not subject to 360 deals, are they signed to labels, or do they have their own label, or what's the situation there?
I would say a case of both. You have artists like Mark Knight, who's there, who owns his own label, so he wouldn't be interested in doing a 360 with anybody. You have Steve Angelo, who does a license-by-license deal with majors, and it has nothing but the physical right of one record with no options, nothing. Through to you have acts like Gorillaz, who are signed to EMI and will never give anything away other than their record rights, but could happily do a bigger 360 deal if they wanted a big cash injection because they're so marketable. So for a DJ, I just don't, for my roster anyway, it hasn't really become relevant. And to be honest, they don't need the money.
Right, so is the,
Yeah, exactly.
in your opinion, is the dividing line between bands and DJs that you describe caused basically by the cost of backline?
Yeah. A band and a DJ is two completely separate business models. They're completely different. Deadmau5 possibly is an exception in so much as he's touring as a band. I would imagine he'll tour in very specific tour periods around a record. The production that he'll be using tour buses, tour kits and everything else. The business models are just completely different.
Is the difference the ability to generate a profit?
I would say the ceilings are different and the odds are different. Fewer bands make it right the way through to being highly profitable machines. We represent Snow Patrol, Coldplay, Eminem. They're proper businesses, multinational businesses. A small band breaking, I've worked on Lazy Hawk. I don't know if anyone else knows her here, but she's just done 200,000 records on Island Records, really born from a kind of electronic background. Her gigs when we began were £50. My cheapest DJ is £500 when he really does just begin. So that's a 10 time fee increase on a baby band. So I don't think you can really compare.
All right, fair enough. So Matt, going back to your label,
Yeah.
and you said whether or not you sign artists to a 360 depends on the artist. I think that's a totally fair answer. But when you do sign artists to a 360, how exactly does that work? Do you have a merchandising company, a touring company, a management company, a publishing company, all under your roof?
Well, we're a very small operation. It's just myself and James Masters here, and then we have a publishing side to the company. But it kind of works like that. But it's we've only been running for 3 years, so we're just kind of getting there.
Okay, so when you do sign an artist to a 360, are you outsourcing the rights to others where you don't have your own operation?
That's a possibility, yeah. But
Okay.
yeah.
And that depends, again?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends again on the artist and the project and how far. I mean, some of the projects we work on, they're single based. It's not it doesn't go as far as doing albums. So it all depends really.
So I was just saying, I think the important distinction to raise at this point is the difference between a 360 deal where the label is taking a share of your income streams from certain areas, and where the label is actually taking your rights. Obviously, with the rights position, you're giving everything over to the label, whereas the income you're carrying on as normal, but you're just paying. You know, if you make a profit on a live show, you pay them. You know, but it doesn't stop you going about your live shows as you did before. So it's a big difference.
Yes, it is a critical difference, and the reason why I was asking Matt these questions was not to put him on the spot, but just to illustrate precisely why it's such a big difference, because...
Can I just say, the thing is,
Yep.
as well, is because I'm an artist, I've actually been on, I think, both sides. And it's, for me, I've seen the downsides of doing a 360 deal, where I think if all the pieces in the puzzle don't work, then the whole thing falls apart, and it's just not. It's.
May I ask who your 360 deal was with?
It was with K7 in Germany.
Okay, so they signed, and was it a rights or an income deal? In other words, did they acquire the rights from you, or just
Yeah,
a
the
percentage?
rights.
Okay, and I guess what you're saying is that you weren't happy with the way they monetized those rights, what they did with those rights.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there was just. I don't think they were really set up at the time to be able to fulfil their part of the deal, and I think that's really important from an artist's point of view. It's got to be right. The company you're signing with, you know, if it is a 360 deal, everything has to be, you know, be done properly.
Okay, so given that experience, would you sign a 360 deal again?
No, probably not. Just because of the maybe.
What if they offered you Robbie Williams money?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, all right. So in other words, there's no categorical no. It just depends on
Yeah, I mean,
the
it's just different.
circumstances.
I mean, it's different now. Now we have our own label, and we I could, as an artist, you know, control what I do pretty much. So I don't really need to go into another deal. And I've learned my mistake. Maybe with the side project I had, maybe we should have done it ourselves rather than go with another company. I think it's all about trust, really. You know, whether you can trust the company you're signing to.
No, well, and, you know, again, going back to Stephen's point, I think there's a critical difference about the type of 360 deal
Yeah.
we're talking about, you know, which is one. So let me ask you this question. If the structure of your deal with K7 had been different, where you had parted with a percentage of your income, when you agreed to, you know, pay them 10%, 15% of your income from various categories, but had retained the rights so that you had gone to whoever you preferred as a publisher, as a merchandiser, as a touring company, you know, as a booking agency or a touring company.
Yeah.
Would you feel better about that than you do about the deal that you signed?
Yeah, of course, and
Okay.
it could work really well. I think.
Okay, so you're saying the problem with your deal was not really that K7 wasn't capable, it's just that given the type of deal that they signed you to, you found the result disappointing because you weren't able to do anything about it.
Yeah, and also, well, I mean, in the end, we took the booking side of the deal. We took it actually away from them because that part just wasn't working. So.
All right. Okay, so to me that's a critical point. But just to tap some of the talent on this panel that we haven't yet. Richard, your company. You say it's a marketing company. You provide services to some recognized names in our business. How exactly does that work? And what does that have to do with 360 deals?
Well, I guess the reason that I'm here is that we've got a bunch of different business models which suit different types of clients. So Natalie Imbruglia is a case in point. So just to talk about why that's relevant for the moment, we were engaged by Natalie at the end of last year. She left Sony. She'd been given a whole bunch of money from a VC fund from the city in London in order to follow what is, I guess everyone knows, is the McFly or Simply Red route, whereby you get the cash that normally a record company acting as bank provides, and then set up what we call the virtual record label. And what we, as an agency, empower people like Natalie to do is to have a virtual record company. So we will run that and populate it with all of the functions that a standard label will have, and the no-brainer if you're an evangelical person who wants to go down that road is that instead of signing to a major and getting a 20% royalty, if you've got the money in the bank, you can just give away something up towards 20% distribution and keep 80% for yourselves to invest as you wish on pluggers and manufacturing and making videos and the like.
Okay, so in essence, you're in charge of an a la carte type approach where you go and get a radio plugger, a video plugger, a promotion company, a marketing company, etc.
Exactly. I mean, me and my business partner are very experienced at running huge international campaigns for artists. So we've set ourselves up as being able to manage that exact process for artists, and that is one of the models that we operate, amongst other ones, such as if we look at what we do with, say, Defected or Above and Beyond's label, they are intrinsically 360-degree business models anyway, and we interact with them and make sure that they're at the cutting edge of all aspects of modern music and dance music.
Okay, so just to stay on the a la carte topic, it seems to me that more and more companies, including distributors and notable agencies, have really sort of thrown their hat in the ring with this a la carte approach. Just two notable ones. I think what used to be Vital now offers their services on an a la carte menu. You can tick the box of what you want.
Absolutely.
And then William Morris, who's the largest talent agency in the world, is doing the same thing, which is sort of interesting. Why would a company like William Morris engage in that?
Well, I think everybody knows that the business has gone through revolutionary change in the last few years, and one can only project what will happen in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years. And you could look at that as everyone's trying to eat each other's lunch, or everyone's just trying to protect their own area. I think we look at it as it's entirely sensible that everybody should be out trying to create new business models, trying new things, and trying, I guess, to protect the interests of the clients and give the clients what they want and or what they need. So,
but okay, you mentioned something interesting. You said everybody's out there trying to eat each other's lunch. Isn't it really all about eating somebody else's lunch by providing all these services? I assume your business model is that you operate on some sort of commission percentage for your service.
Well, I mean, we operate on different kind of models. Sometimes we paid retainers, which tend to be the traditional model. So in the same way you might hire a PR or a TV plugger, but equally when we do brand partnership deals, we get roped in on commissions on those.
Fair enough, but I was sort of focused on the what you described with Natalie's album, where you're pulling together services from a variety of companies. I assume you charge for the service that you provide in selecting partners and working with them, and putting the release through the various bits, the various parts of this machine that you put together. Correct?
Isn't that the manager's job? Sorry, I'm not trying to do that the job, but what does the manager do?
Well, I mean, if you imagine you've got a multi-million selling artist who's sold 10 million albums, and they get a very sizable financial investment, a manager or a management company may not want to or be able to fulfill the entire role from, say, the MD of a record label through to the FD, through to the A&R department, through to the marketing department, et cetera, et cetera.
Does she have a manager beyond
Absolutely.
your company? Okay,
Yeah.
and who hired you? Did the manager hire you, or did she hire you?
The manager hired us once the artist was happy with us. Absolutely. We won a pitch. There were more than one agency, and we pitched and we won.
All right, so let me come back to that, because that was one of the points that I wanted to make, and I don't mean to hog the mic here, but I'm just really I'm trying to set the stage to really get into the nitty-gritty of this. And one more, just a comment. So you're charging commissions for putting together the parts of a machine from various areas of what's needed on a record release. When I heard about William Morris's a la carte offering, I thought to myself, wow, this is a way for them to go beyond the 10% that they can charge on their bookings, and all of a sudden they're operating on a 360 model, aren't they? Because they're drawing a commission on all the services that they're arranging, and whether or not they have managed to use their negotiating power to get a better deal with a marketing company or the promotion company or the radio plugger or the